So this is what I did to get a multi-term term base out of this Echa-term multilingual chemical terminology database. As you pointed out before, I don't believe the TBX format is correct that you download from here. So I haven't actually downloaded it from here. I've only looked at the data that you've given me. I did try the download, but it was taking too long and I gave up. But I suppose you could try it again. You click on download data, as you pointed out, and then you pick the one that you want. Now you've also given me an Excel file, and what I'm going to do is just go through the process of how I can do it using the Excel file, because I can't with the TBX. It looks like it's going to be too much work to try and fix the TBX, for me anyway. So this is what I did. I take the Excel file that you gave me, and the Excel file looks like this. So actually it's quite neat, but the problem with it, as you pointed out, is that all the languages are in one column, and to do a simple extraction into multi-term, that makes it a little trickier to do. Now you might be able to automate what I'm going to show you, but doing it manually might be faster than writing some kind of a script, unless you're really fast to be able to automate this. So let me show you what I did. First of all, I deselect these and pick the languages that I want. I've already done a few, so I'm going to pick another one. So I'll take DE. So I've only got DE now. Just make sure there's nothing else selected. It shouldn't be. Okay, and I say OK. And that gives me all of the DE. And then what I do is scroll down here, select them and copy them. And on my next sheet, I've already formatted this with the columns and everything else to look correct. So all I do is just paste the values in, and there's my German, and that's only German. I then right click on the sheet, move or copy, create a copy, put it in a new book, and then change the name of the term to the language, and just get rid of this language column because we don't need it. They're all DE. And then I save it as DE. You can see I've already done Bulgarian, Greek, English and Hungarian. So now I've added German to it. And I close that, and you could repeat that process and delete those, come back to here, and you could repeat this process for each of the languages that you wanted. So I'll just do one more. So you don't want German. Let's take French. We haven't done French yet. Say OK. So there's the French. So click on the top. Select them all. Control C. Oop. That's going to be a different size probably. Paste. Values. Right click. Move or copy. Create a copy. A new book. Change this to FR and delete the language code. And then save it as FR. Okay, so that's enough. So that's how I would address the different spreadsheets. So you have a separate language for each spreadsheet. Then what you can do is you can use the glossary converter to merge them, because this is far easier than trying to do it in multi-term. So all I do then, I'll just close Studio so I don't have any messing around here, is I'll start off with the English. So the English, I'm going to take the English and convert this to a multi-term term base. Excuse me. So I'll take the English first and go drag and drop. Identify all the fields it didn't recognize. It's recognized the language automatically. Although actually, let me just cancel that a second. I don't like that. I want it to, it's one of these places, always show field definition dialog. I don't want it to do anything automatic like that for me. So let me just do that again. That wasn't a problem, by the way. It's just, I like to see the languages just to make sure it's doing what I think it's doing. So there we go, English, perfect. So the entry number is at entry level. The code is also at entry level. The rest of these are probably at term level, I'm guessing. I didn't see any fields, it all seemed to be text, so I'm going to leave them all at text, and certainly for the purpose of this exercise I'm sure that will be good enough. And then I'm just going to say, make sure I'm okay with everything else. Okay, I'm just going to say okay. So that will go through, and that is going to do the first part for me, which is create, in this case, just a monolingual term base. So it's only going to have one language in it, which is the English. So there's my English term base. And then I'm going to come back to the glossary converter, go to the settings, move over to merging. I activate the merge files. I use a master term base. You might not need to do this, but I found that this actually did it quite nicely. Pick the English that I just picked. So I'll make sure I get all my fields and everything correct. And I'm going to merge them on the entry number. Now it's not really the entry number as in terms of the entry ID that MultiTerm puts in there. This is just another field that was in that database. It just happens to be called the entry number. And it's probably the entry number of their own database. So that's what I'm going to merge on to make sure that they all match when they come in. I'm not going to worry about merging languages because they should all be completely different, and I just say OK there. Then you should now have all these little traffic lights up here. I then pick the Bulgarian, the German, the Greek, the French and the Hungarian spreadsheets, drop them down into here like this, and just say OK. It's probably going to do this for each language, but I suppose it gives you a chance to make sure that the languages are the general languages rather than the specific ones, because I think that's a better solution. Okay, that's finalizing them. It's a wonderful tool, this, the glossary converter, very smart. So you're getting this in real time, no shortcuts here. Reorganized into a merged SDL file. This stage, the reorganization, if you do all of the files, could take a little bit longer. It's taking a while to reorganize them with just the ones I've done, and I've only done 6 languages. Okay, so I exit that, and now I have my merged term base, and if I open that, let's see what we've got. That looks pretty good. English, Bulgarian, German, Greek, French, Hungarian, so they're all there. And I can see that I can flip down through all of these and it seems to work okay. If I look at the term-based management, I've got 570 entries. There's all the different terms. Same number of entries for each one, 100% coverage for each language. So it seems to have worked pretty well. I guess if you speak the languages, you could check and make sure that they're correct. If I look at the German, that looks okay. Analytical method. Analyze the method. Active substance. Oh, I don't know if that's right or not. Acute Wirkung. Acute effect. Looks as though it's correct. So it looks pretty good. So that's how I did it using the Excel. And it got around the problems of having an invalid TBX export. I hope that's helpful.